my sweet friends, and welcome to the only college advice you will ever need from someone who has already gone through it. Right now, it is back to school season. I know a lot of y'all are going off to school, going off to college for the first time, and it's such an exciting time because I love back to school time, and I'm not in school anymore, so I'm just gonna live through y'all because I really miss college. I just miss that back to school feeling a lot, and so I'm going to jump in here real quick and give y'all some of my advice for incoming freshmen who have never gone to college before and would like some real advice. I'm going to be separating this video into two different parts. One for choosing the right college and major for you, and then dealing with college life and surviving college in general. I know that there are a lot of tough decisions to be made. You're probably feeling really nervous and anxious about this new time, but I want to set your fears straight. I think that's how doesn't quite make sense to me, but I feel like it's also right. But I'm here to let you know that it is okay and give you some of my real advice for surviving your first year of college and college in general, all the other years, however long you're in college. Part 1, choosing the right college and major for you. Number 1, keep your options open. I have told this story before, but I applied to 3 colleges. I got into all 3. One was my absolute dream school that I had been just dying to go to basically my whole life. I thought it was the only college for me, and I had toured it many times, just loved it. And I applied to another school that was like my second choice, and then the third school I applied to was like my backup choice. I didn't really think I was gonna go there. It was more just for like a formality because I for sure was gonna go to my top school. I toured all 3 schools just to be on the safe side, and I ended up falling in love with my backup school. I could see myself there. I loved the environment and the atmosphere, and I sort of realized that I had been hyping up my dream school so much that it actually wasn't where I wanted to go, and it wasn't really the environment for me. I had to make a really tough decision of not going to my dream school because I just knew deep down that I would thrive a lot better in my backup school. And I loved every minute of it, and I would not change that for the world. Number 2, use social media to stalk current students. Yes. Really get in there. My senior year of high school, when I was still trying to figure out what college I wanted to go to, I used social media to really stalk current students, even former students, but I really wanted to see what life was actually like for these students without having to talk to them, because I don't want to talk to people. Instagram was my main platform that I used to stalk people because you could see pictures, but Twitter is also a great one. Use hashtags to get in there, maneuver around, start with like really broad tags that a lot of students use, find more through that. It's really easy, surprisingly easy to stalk people. Not in a creepy way, please don't be creepy with it, don't do that. But you can find students there through hashtags, then they're tagged people, see what they like to do, what's going on, what the campus scene looks like. My second choice school, I did this a lot for them because it was more of a private Christian college, and while I am a Christian, I'm also a lot more liberal and progressive in my views, and I was really scared of going to a religious school that didn't share the same views. So I just stalked the heck out of the students and found it's not as religious as I thought. And it made me feel a lot better about how people would treat me if I were to go to that school. Also, side note, finding friends at your school. Social media is a really good way to do that. There's always social media groups, especially if you're already accepted and you're planning on going to this school. There's tons of like freshman groups, group chats, hashtags, stuff like that. That's how I actually found my freshman year roommate, through one of those group chats, and we hit it off. We're like, cool, roommate, bam. Number 3, in regards to majors, pick something that you love and are passionate about, but something you can also make a career out of. For example, I'm a writer, I write books. If you're new, hi, hello, I make writing videos, but I get a lot of questions asking why I didn't major in a writing related field. And that's because as much as I love writing, it was something that I it was different from a professional career in my mind, especially at that time when I was going into college. I didn't really see myself being able to become a writer full-time, and I was thinking of it in two different ways. I wanted a career, which is why I did psychology, because I was actually wanting to be a licensed practicing psychologist. I was always still gonna write on the side, but I knew that doing this other thing that I really love would be more of a career opportunity sort of path. Please, by all means, study what you love and are passionate about, but please remember that you also want to make a career out of this. You're going to school so that you can join a professional field. There's absolutely nothing wrong with majoring in English or creative writing or whatever, but that was something I wanted to do on my own rather than in a professional college setting. All right, part 2, college life. Keep a schedule of all your due dates. This is so important. I would always, at the beginning of every semester, I would get all the syllabi. I would sit down with them and make a huge schedule of all the due dates in order of calendar year of every assignment, test, paper, due, and everything. So then I could always refer back to this huge schedule, and it wasn't divided by classes. It was just one master schedule of all the due dates, just in order of time. You really, really, really are going to need to pay attention to due dates. Don't slack off with that. No one's gonna remind you. You are going to have to know and remember them on your own. My freshman year, my first semester, I almost missed my midterm for a class because I was hanging out with friends and I was actually going to skip the class, but they're like, oh, you've already like skipped too much for this class, you should go. And I was like, oh, okay, fine. And I get there and it was the midterm, and I still like kick myself in the butt for that because that was, don't do that, please. Which brings me to my next point, which is don't slack off your first semester / first year. You need to pay attention. I know when you first get there, it's gonna be a little wild. You got all this new freedom. You're gonna be doing things you don't normally do without the supervision you normally have, but it will catch up to you quick if you let it. Also, take a look around you because like 40% of those people aren't gonna be there next semester. A lot of people drop out, more than you would think. Anyone can start, but not everyone will finish. Don't be one of those people. Although I will say it's perfectly valid if you've got some issues going on. Some people drop out due to mental problems or personal problems in their life. That's perfectly valid. Purely from the academic sense, just do your work, don't party, stuff like that. The first semester, it's always going to be the one that kicks you the hardest, at least for me. My first semester was my worst semester. Which brings me to my next point, don't skip class. And I know that's a little hypocritical because I was just saying that I skipped class. Especially near the beginning, don't skip class. You pay a lot of money for this. Your parents are paying a lot of money for this. Yes, people will skip. I will say most often though, they're usually people who have been there for a while, upperclassmen who know their limits. You don't know your limits yet. Learn them. I get it, you will skip class, but near the beginning, please don't, and really try not to do that often. Don't make a habit of it. Next, keep healthy habits. Get lots of sleep, eat well, exercise regularly, don't drink every night. Freshman 15 is very real. I fortunately didn't get it, but I think that's because I still kept some healthy habits. But I know that it happened to a lot of people. Take care of yourself, your body, your mind, and then your grades will thank you. Take responsibility for your actions. No one is here to hold your hand. You're on your own. Do the work. You have no one to blame but yourself if something happens. Say yes. You're about to find yourself in a lot of new situations with a lot of new people, and some of my best memories from college, especially freshman year, was when I got out of my comfort zone and said yes to things. Especially because I was a really shy, introverted person, and I did not like being on my own for the first time. Well, I did, but I was really nervous. I promise everyone's nervous. Everyone is thinking the same thing. Everyone is desperate for friends. Say yes. You're gonna be in a lot of cool situations. It's gonna be really fun. As long as you're safe, please stay safe, but always have fun. Get professional experience. I know that this is college. I know you have a view of what college is supposed to be. It's supposed to be a lot of fun, partying, slacking off, stuff like that, even though it's not really supposed to be slacking off. But you are here to further your career and get a jump start in your professional field, whatever it may be. So get some experience, join a club, organization, get a job, internships, stuff like that. There's tons of things you can do. Choose something, commit to it. Don't be afraid to do things by yourself, especially near the beginning of the year, semester. This is really good advice also anytime during college and also anytime during life. I think this is something that a lot of people should remember more. It is okay to do things by yourself, and I would even say it's really good to do things by yourself. I used to be afraid of eating lunch alone, and now it's really nice. College isn't a picture-perfect cookie-cutter experience. It's going to look different for everyone. You're not going to have the same experience as someone else, the same experiences in the movies or books or anything like that. It's going to be different, and that's okay. Don't be sad or upset or think you're doing something wrong if your college experience isn't turning out the way you thought it would go, the way you expected it to. Mine was completely different from what I thought it was going to be, up to the school even. As long as you're happy, you're having fun, you're being safe, anything goes. Don't take that out of context. I just mean, just get out there, do things. It's gonna be fun, it's gonna be different, and that's okay. And lastly, do what you want and don't care what other people think. I promise you, other people don't care what you're doing. They're not looking at you. Everyone is way too worried about focusing on themselves. And I know this is probably advice you've heard before, but it's so true, and I never really believed it. I was always just so anxious and scared of things for some reason. And then I realized it really is true. No one cares. Do what you want. Especially now during this time, it's gonna be such a time for experimentation, making new friends, trying new things. Everything's gonna look so different. Someone is calling me and it just says unknown. Not gonna answer that. But get out there, try new things. Don't be afraid to say yes. Get outside of your comfort zone, please. So many of my own favorite memories from college was from doing things that I would never have done in high school. Things I never thought I would be able to do. There is so much out there, and if you're not saying yes, and if you're not getting out of your comfort zone, you're not going to experience them, and I promise you that's what's going to make your college experience great. That's all the advice that I have for y'all today. I hope it was helpful. I hope that you find yourself using it and having it help you as you go into this new season of your life. I'm so excited for all of you. Even if you're not a college freshman, I'm still so excited for you. I love back to school time so much. This year is gonna be great. This semester is gonna be great wherever you are, whatever you're doing, whatever you're studying. Take advantage of these years. Say yes to new opportunities. I promise you, you're gonna look back on this and it's gonna be great. Thank you all so much for watching. If you're new, I would appreciate it if you would subscribe. But yeah, that's all I've got for you today. Thanks so much. I hope you enjoyed and I hope they help. And I will see y'all in the next video.